Okay, we are live. I am doing a simulcast, and so Instagram's here, YouTube's here. YouTube channel is positively progressing. If you're on Instagram, you want to check it out on YouTube. Um, and Hey, Ryan Cannon in the house. What is up? Good to see you, pal, or good to see your name at least. It's early there in Hawaii. Okay, so if you have questions, you can put them in the chat on Instagram, or not the chat, excuse me. Put it in the question box on Instagram. Put it on the whatever, the chat or whatever it's called on on YouTube. I'm gonna try to keep these. I'm gonna try to keep these things going, but this is like a lot of moving parts here. Yeah, great to have a little hang. We got to catch up, Ryan. So if you have a question, please put it in the question box. If you're writing questions, I see that people are writing questions like how to play overtones and things like that. Please put it in the question box. I'll go over some overtone stuff, I promise, at the end. So here we go. So today, 2-5 Tuesday, live. Hey, I'm excited to be back on Tuesday, and I'm excited to be here with you all. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you get something out of it. So last week, this is week 24, by the way. This is the 24th week in a row I've done this, which is pretty insane. And maybe around the holidays, I might have missed a couple, but this is my 24th one. So that's like close to 6 months worth or something. But this has been really fun. I'm going to piggyback off of something I talked about last week, which was using the melodic minor scale over the dominant. So, hey, Michael, YouTube. All right, nice to see you. So jumping off that, so I'm going to play a line, and then we're going to kind of just see where it takes us, and I'm going to kind of explain what's happening in the line. So let me play the line first. And I'm going to talk in tenor key today because I actually left my notes inside, and I'm going to do all this off my top of my head, off my dome. So, but I think I can do it. But I'm going to speak in tenor key, but it's relevant for all keys. So here's the line. I'm just going to play. It's a short 2-5, so it's going D minor 7 to G7, resolving to C major. Okay. You could technically resolve this to C minor as well, but I'm just gonna think C major because I might mess with the endings a little bit just to kind of mess around. All right. So here's the line. Right. Play it one more time. Really, really nice voice leading there. And what I'm going to explain here is what's happening, why this is cool to use the melodic minor sound over the dominant. Now, real quick review. Last week we talked about the melodic minor. You're using the melodic minor a half step up from the dominant chord, meaning like we're playing G7, right? So we're playing G7, and you're going to play A flat, right? You're going up a half step. You're playing A flat melodic minor. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you access to a lot of colors. I might even still have some stuff written on here. Oh, okay, cool. I do. So here's a quick little board review. So if we're playing B flat 7, which in this case we're not, but we go up a half step and we're playing B minor melodic minor, excuse me. I'm trying to read this stuff backwards. So basically, if we look at this, if we play B, D, F sharp, and A sharp, right? So remember, melodic minor is a minor major. That's what this little symbol is. It's a dash is the minor, and then the major 7. So it's a minor major 7. Okay. And what you're getting when you play this is you're getting a flat 9 sound in the B. You're getting the natural, like the third of B flat, right? We're talking, this is all relative to B flat. So this is the flat 9. You get the third sound. You get the F sharp, which technically is a sharp 5 if we're talking about B flat 7, but let's call it the flat 13 or sharp 5. And then you're getting the A sharp, right? A sharp and B flat are the same things. It's just an enharmonic. So that's a quick review. So what I thought was cool was why not make a minor sound over the D minor, right? So think about that for a second. A minor sound over the D minor. How can I get a minor sound over the D minor? Well, you can play D F A, which is just the D minor triad, right? You're getting that sound, which is cool. But if we want really nice voice leading and we want voice leading and excuse me, if we want voice leading that's a little closer. So if I were to play that idea, that idea would sound like this. Right? So not as smooth. It still works. It still outlines the chord changes, but it's not as smooth. So if we keep thinking a little bit and say, oh, what kind of minor triad can I also find in D minor that makes sense over D minor? Well, let's go from the 5, right? Let's go from the A, and let's make a minor triad from there. So we have A, which is the 5 of D minor. We have C, right? C natural, which is the 7. And then if we play E, that's the 9 of D minor, right? So if we play that arpeggio, right? So we're playing the 9, which is really pretty. So if we play the A minor triad, and we're going to an A flat minor triad because we're playing a half step up from the G7. Hope you're following me. I know I'm talking really fast. If we do that, then now we have 2 minor triads in a row. And what's that also going to do? If we keep going down by half steps, we're going to resolve on the G of the C major, which is the 5, right? Pretty cool. So check this out. I'll play it down an octave. Right? And I could even play a major triad there. I could do G, or whatever I'm gonna, however I want to end it. But that is in a nutshell, right? A really, really nice voice leading thing, and something you could all figure out. Like you can find out different ways. Now, let's say we did want to play from that. This is now I'm getting into something else completely outside this line. But let's say we did want to play the D minor triad to the A flat minor triad. Well, let's think about how we can make that better voice leading versus this. This is the first thing I did. Right? It's not as smooth, but if we start on the 5 and we play the D minor triad, it might be a little bit smoother. Maybe I'm going to descend. So I'm going to go. Right? Another way to make it 2-5. There's another 2-5 for you all. So this comes with some exploration. With my students, oh crap. Hopefully this sound goes back on. Let me know if the sound goes back on and on Instagram. I apologize. Let's see, is that working? I don't know. If Instagram's working, please give me a wave or something. Anyways, so that's another way to voice lead. So here we go. It's the same thing. We're going 5, 3, 1. So on D minor, and then we're going using that A flat minor triad, and we can resolve however we want. Right. So you have the tools, right? What's up, Logan? I was just about to talk about you a little bit. Not you exactly, but my students. Logan's one of my students. He's awesome. Follow him, and he's working hard. I appreciate all his hard work. I probably don't tell you that enough, Logan. You're working hard. Thank you for working hard and always following up with the things I have to say. But what I was going to say is the exploration part of this is kind of the fun part, right? It's the fun of figuring out how these lines make sense to you, how you hear them. I can't say that enough. How do you hear this? How are you absorbing it into your brain and making sense of it all? Because really we can think all these things in the practice room, right? And here I'm thinking about these things, but I'm also, when I'm playing, I'm not thinking. I'm really just going off of everything, all the hard work you put in this room, and then going out. You turn the thinking part off, and you're going off your ear, off your muscle memory, off of a lot of different things, intuition, and other things change that, right? Like people you're playing with, how are they playing? How are you vibing with them? What kind of music are you making? It doesn't have to be these, set licks. They shouldn't be just these set licks. I know a lot of my channel and a lot of my page on Instagram is two fives, right? But the point of it is giving you guys some inspiration and then you guys taking off with it. So let's get to a couple questions. I know I saw a question about um I know you're a saxophone player, but oh, here we go. Okay. I know you're a saxophone player, but favorite chord? Favorite chord. Uh that's so tough. I really actually like minor chords. I like minor 11ths. I think that's such a pretty chord. What else do I like? I think I would say if I had if you held me down, Nolan, and we're like, okay, what's your favorite chord? I would say a minor 11 chord. So I'll just go ahead and answer that. I love a lot of chords, but I'll say minor 11th because I think it sounds super pretty. Hey, I see some familiar names coming in. What's up, Josh? I think I saw Oliver coming in. Let's check out another question. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in um, the question box or whatever, the little question. So we have a question here from Kunal. I hope I'm saying your name right. If I'm not, I apologize. How to play overtones? Oh man, where to start there? So I think I think one of the easiest ways to play overtones. Now you can play overtones a lot of different ways. I think there's a lot of different ways to start playing, and there's I don't know if there's necessarily a wrong way. Um, maybe there's a wrong way by trying to play too high and not making sure your embouchure is relaxed. That would be the wrong way to play overtones. Like if you're getting up higher in your overtone series and you're pinching and you're not relaxed here, I would say you need to focus on that. If you can stay relaxed, that's the best thing. So I actually like playing overtones. This is one of the first things I do, or if I'm getting back into playing. Like if I'm just working on sound, I don't know why I said getting back into playing. I just took a vacation, so I might start with something like this. I typically don't take days off, but vacations, yeah, I'll take a little time off. So I'm going to play an F on the scale, or on the staff, excuse me, on this middle F, I would call it, and I'm going to play that without the octave key. So I'm doing this fingering, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 here with no octave key. My thumb is not going to be on the octave key, and I'm going to play that note where it's supposed to be, right? Like up on the top of the octave. And then I'm going to play. Oh, William. Oh man, the movement shop. William, one of my buds. Thank you. I appreciate you. I am not the man, but I appreciate your kind words. Thanks, bro. Um, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna play it on the staff, and then you're gonna play it an octave down. So you're gonna allow these are called your voicing muscles, right? You have a lot of muscles in here. We call them voicing. Sometimes you might hear it like the voicing, but there's a lot of intricate muscles in here. Let's not get into that. William, my friend, there's also a doctor of physical therapy, so we learned all these muscles in here. You guys don't need to know all the muscles in there, but because it's not going to matter. It's more about getting the sound in your ear. So if I have this F, and I can take my mouth off, and I'm gonna play it down an octave, right? And I'll probably do this with a tuner. I might not do it with time. It's more of I kind of consider it more of a meditative thing. I like to just kind of zen out and enjoy it. And then I'll go down chromatically. So I might do E, right? No octave key. And then jump down the octave. This is, and then go down another half step, right? Go to E flat. So this is one of the, I think, easier ways to get into overtones, and you're sliding down, which is really important. Going up is also important, but hitting the note you're aiming for and then coming down is actually being able to adjust your voicing muscles that way. I find it a little bit more friendly to get into it. So when we get down to some of the palm keys, like let's say we're down to C sharp or D flat, right? So now I'm gonna play D flat, like, or C sharp, with 1 2 3, my pinky on the spatula here, and then 1 2 3 4 all the way down. I'm gonna play the C sharp, which is gonna sound like this, right? That's C sharp right in the middle, and now I'm gonna play it down an octave. Trying to make it really clear and make it come out good air support. So with that being said, then you work yourself down, half steps at a time. The next step would be, you could do like an overtone series. You could do overtone scales, which I really like. So if I played like an overtone scale, it would mean like I'm gonna play, let's say, a B flat major scale, and I'm gonna start on B flat with my low B flat fingering, and I'm gonna just go up the scale, but I'm gonna be using overtones. Now that's D without the octave key. I'm going to play E flat without the octave key. I'm going to play F with the low B flat fingering. That's with the low C fingering. That's A with the D fingering, and then up to B flat. And then I'd work my way down. I would normally go much, much slower than that. So do not play your overtones that fast. Like, you need to focus on hearing it and focus on what your throat's doing. That was a really more sped up version of it, how I would normally play it. I would normally not play it that fast. Okay, I hope that helps your answers your question and helps you out, helps anybody out. There's a lot of great material out there on overtones. Ben Wendell has an amazing book called this. I actually have it right sitting right here. The Path to Altissimo. That has some overtone stuff in there. There's like a classic overtone series book. I can't think of the why am I blanking on the name? So maybe start with an S or something. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. My brain's not on today, I guess. So let's see. Let's see what else we have. Okay. I'm gonna do this one from Josh here. This one says, "What are the important things to remember when writing and or playing a 2/5?" Okay. Sorry, I got a question in on YouTube at the same time, so I'm like a dog chasing squirrels here. What are the important things to remember when writing and or playing a 2/5? Hmm, that's a great question, actually. You know, well, one thing that never to forget, there's really no rules, right? I just got done doing a master class with Seamus Blake over the weekend, and it was all on composed solos, and it was fantastic. First off, it was amazing. I mean, Seamus is the best, and he's just an amazing, obviously, musician, but just an amazing human. The way that he thinks, the way that he kind of tried to explain things, and one thing I took out of the class was, there's really, really no rules. And he actually said something in the class like melody trumps harmony. So, always melody's always going to go trump harmony. So he was breaking all sorts of rules in the class. He was ending on major thirds over minor chords. It was so cool, and all of his composed solos were actually composed over like just drums and bass. So there was no chordal, um, there was no Charlotte. Thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. You're so kind. Um, so there are no rules pretty much. So that's one thing to remember. Where if your ear is taking you somewhere, Josh, follow it and see where it takes you. And maybe you maybe you'll go from there and you'll see what comes of it, right? Like, so it might not make sense harmonically, but if it makes sense to you and the melody's really strong in your ear, the melody and the rhythm strong, it's not going to matter what the harmony is. It's not going to matter at all. I mean, Miles Davis is a great Miles Davis, Train, like all of the masters are great examples of that, like of not caring. But with that being said, if you are writing, let's say, I think one of the important things to remember, in my opinion, um, is what's the goal of the line, right? So today I just talked about, like, using that flat 9, flat 13 sound over the dominant chord or or in a 2/5. So I would have a clear-cut goal for what you're trying to write. Like, get more are you trying to get more chromaticism in your playing? Maybe you start writing lines that are full of chromaticism, right? Maybe you start exploring how many different enclosures and chromatic approaches you can use in a line. Um, maybe you're like, I really want to play diatonic stuff, right? I did a whole week of diatonic lines recently, and you can find all these lines on my YouTube positively progressing shorts page. I think there's like 70, or well, I have over 70 written at this point, but they're not all out yet. um the line I just wrote, I actually wrote that line today, the one I played today. That's you know actually uh it's going to be in a future video, so you guys got a sneak peek. Hey Tracy, how you doing? Nice to see you as always. You're the best. For stopping by. I think I told you all at the beginning, this is my 24th week of doing this. I think Tracy's been to every single week, so thank you for your support, Tracy. Really appreciate it. Um, and then let me think, Josh. I hope I answered your question. Please let me know if I didn't. But I would say that would be the thing. Like, don't worry about the rules, but also maybe have a goal for what you're trying to write. If you're, like I said, if you're trying to write with a sharp 5, like, right? So, like, let's say I wanted to write something with a sharp 5 in the dominant, right? So I wanted an augmented sound. Then maybe I'll write a line that's like that, right? So if I'm playing over C tenor key, you know, right? Uh, right. So I'm playing, I'm hearing that augmented sound, right? Right. Um, yeah, I think I saw Josh said good insight for sure. All right, cool. Awesome. So glad. I think I have another question in here. Um, okay. This is a question: how to start soloing in the bebop style. Um, so Shay Samuel, hello on YouTube. All right, I got both screens going, so thanks for thanks for watching, of course. So how to start soloing in the bebop? So first things, and I think I say this maybe every week or every time I get a question like this, make sure you're listening. Right, listening is so key to your development, to your growth. I could listen more. I should listen more. Um, so definitely listen to Burt Parker, listen to Sonny Stitt, listen to Dizzy, listen to any fill in the blank, right? Any of your favorite bebop players from that era. I mean, there's a lot of modern players that are still playing bebop stuff. um you know, so start listening. And listening is super, super important. The next thing I would say is start exploring, right? Like, so if you hear a line, like if you hear something like this, like, right? So that's a pretty, it's called a bebop cliche, right? And you'll hear Sonny Stitt do it a lot. You'll hear tons of people, do that. Um, Explore those little chunks of language, right? So, right, something like that. How about this? Like, right? That's kind of like a little enclosure, but that could lead into something, right? Right. And so that's what I like to call bebop exploration. If Logan's still on here, he knows all about it. He's heard it. He's heard me talk about it. I should probably make a video on the bebop exploration, but really, the if you want to start soloing in the bebop style, listen to it a ton and then start exploring it on your instrument. There's so many different ways you can go with it. So I don't want to say there's only one way. And really, it's just have fun with it, because it's a fun language to learn, and I'm still learning. I still can't speak it as well as most people, and I'm just out here just working. um, okay, so I have one more question here. How to solo when you can't hear anything in your head? Okay, that's um well, I first would ask, like, how do you, like, what are you I think I would say like there's something you're hearing in your head. You might not be able to play necessarily what you're hearing in your head, but you might be hearing something. So if we had a chord, right, or no chord, if you want to start hearing stuff in your head, maybe start trying to play what's in your head, right? Which means you need to sing. So disclaimer, I'm about to sing. I'm not a singer, but let's play something, and then we'll go into something else that I think will help. Let me play a couple. I don't have perfect pitch, so ba 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 da boo ba ba. Let me see if I can play that now. Right. Ba ba da boo ba 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 do the way. Ba 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 ba. Right. So I'm not a great singer. I wasn't playing any chord changes. I wasn't doing any of that stuff. Um, I'm only I'm only singing when I'm trying to sing accurately, and I would sing slow, even if it has to be like, if we play that first note, any note. Oh man, legend, living legend, saxophone Steve Cortica is here. Wow, it's late, I think, wherever you are. Unless you're on the West Coast, then it's not too late. It's great to see that name. Check out Steve Cortica, one of the best guys going. New York cat, comes out to Vegas, plays with Lady Gaga, Tony Bennett. He's amazing. One of my Probably one of my biggest influences. He's a teacher of mine, and I can't say enough great things about him. So please check him out, Saxophone Steve Cortica on YouTube. Um, so that's what I would say, and in regards to trying to hear what if you don't hear anything in your head, try to hear something in your head. Try to sing something, then match it. Then you can play freely. You can play free, and then try to see where it takes you. Like if I play something free, like and not no chord changes, nothing. So I'm kind of anticipating where I'm going. I know that probably sounded like that was rehearsed or something, but that was kind of the melody I was hearing in my head. I was trying to follow that. That takes time. I mean, I do work hard at this. I try to. I have two kids and a full time job, but I do work hard, and I try to practice these things that I tell you all to do. So yeah. All right. Let's see. I think there's Oh my goodness, there's crazy amount of questions coming in. This is nuts. I have to wake up so early. Okay, this one's easy. Do you have perfect pitch? No, I don't have perfect pitch. I wouldn't even say I have. I have like moderate to okay relative pitch. So I'm not a savant at all. I don't have perfect pitch, and yeah, I'm getting better. My relative pitch is getting better and better, but I definitely don't have perfect pitch. Um, okay. Uh, Here we go. Is blowing softly a bad trap for achieving subtone? Should you be able to blow properly and still get subtone? Um, Subtone's an effect. It's interesting you asked that question. I try to I was told recently, actually, like I do play with a lot of subtone. Some people play with subtone all the time. I think it's an effect. But sometimes you're not aware. Like if you can get a clear note out down there, and you can also play subtone. Um, how is subtone? Like there's my subtone, right? There's a clear tone. You know, I think messing around with different, obviously trying to play like longer tones down there clearly at a quiet volume. So play those long tones if you like want to do that, or play a ballad or something, and get those lower notes. Like if you're playing like Body and Soul or something on tenor, you're playing low notes. You could play it slow, and try it with subtone. Try it without. Try it louder. Try it softer. Play around with that. But I believe you should have good air support. It should come from your diaphragm, come from down here. Like I'm getting all that air in, and I'm able to concentrate this air. I'm not, my first breath isn't here like that. My chest isn't moving. My shoulders aren't going up. You should have a really strong diaphragmatic control all the time, steady stream of air going through. Okay. I think I have one more question here. How can I Okay, here we go. How can I improve my sight reading? The 251 videos are awesome. Thanks for that. Thank you, Manuel. Improve your sight reading. Spend 5 or 10 minutes on it every day. Like pull up something, pull up anything. You can get free stuff all over the place. You can pull up my lines every day and just they're free. Just pull them up and try to sight read them. Pull up a couple of them. There's probably, like I said, there's like 60 or 70 out there. Um, you know, so from Indonesia, hello, bro. What is up? I want to go surf out there someday. Um, Anyways, so that's what I would say. I would say, practicing sight reading consistently. I don't do a ton of practicing of sight reading. Like I don't play in a big band. I don't do any of that stuff. But you could even flip open a real book and do that. So you're good to go. Hey Barbara. Oh, Barbara's on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining. She is one lovely and great lady. Hi. It's nice to see your name pop up, Barbara. Um, so yeah, so I would say just practice it, and it doesn't need a ton, 5, 10 minutes a day, and slowly you're going to get better and better and better. You can pull up, like I said, a real book, just flip to a random page and try to sight read the tune. Don't need to improvise on it. Just read the melody, and that's one great way. If you have the Omni book, boom, you can start sight reading. Start sight reading Bird. I think a lime just fell off my tree. Heard something loud. Um, okay, let's see. We have Okay, one last question, and I have to really go. Any specific soloing tips for ballads? As a piano player, I don't have the beauty of having a nice, emotional, sustained notes. Well, you get a lot more. You can do a ton of effects on piano. I mean, some of my favorite ballads are played on piano. I listen to a lot of like Art Tatum and Mulgrew and oh man, I mean, just there's so many great piano players that so, you know, tips for I mean, ballads are the hardest thing to play. Let's be honest. In my opinion, I think they're some of the hardest thing to play. I doubt Steve's still in here, but um maybe he could speak to it. I think I saw a question, what mouthpiece am I wearing? I'm not wearing a mouthpiece. I am playing on a vintage auto link hard rubber link. It's from like the 1940s. It's a slant. And my ligature is Boston Sax, of course. My neck strap is Boston Sax, and the reeds are Boston Sax because Jack is amazing, and he makes great products, and I love supporting that company. So I have no affiliation with them. I don't get paid for saying that. That is completely my opinion. And, don't at me about it. I'm just kidding. um, so as far as ballad playing, I think it's just like, ballad playing's so tough. So, um, all right, let me see here. I think that's all the questions I have on here. Um, so Shay on YouTube, someone asks, after a tooth extraction, I don't longer feel myself playing the way I used to before. What can I do? So, you know, it's interesting. Uh, you know, my best friend actually, who's waiting for me outside, is a dentist, and the mouth is an interesting thing. Your palate can change a little bit, and not in getting a tooth extracted. There's more space in a certain area, and there's more pressure in certain areas. I'm not a dentist, and I'm not a professional on that front, but I have had some work, some different dental things happen, and it's definitely changed a bit. The brain is an interesting thing. I do know a lot about the brain. The brain is an interesting thing and um, will definitely, someone just asked if I'm living in Boston. No, I live in California. I live in Carlsbad. I am in a little beach town in north of San Diego. Um, so your brain will what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, my brain's not even working. Can't find the words. Your brain will adapt, and so I would take your time going back, getting back into playing, and you shouldn't have any pain. You shouldn't have, you should feel comfortable playing, and you know, I think for the most part, you're okay. Like I had a root canal done and an implant put in to one of my back teeth, and the doctor that did it, my surgeon that did it, was like, "Yeah, you can play like right away." So I think with wisdom teeth, it's a little different. I got my wisdom teeth pulled when I was in the army band, and I couldn't play for like 4 days. And then when I started playing, there was a lot of pressure. So certain things are different as far as like, procedures in the mouth. But I would say take your time getting back to it. Play, do all the things that to keep your embouchure strong, and your brain will adapt. So, okay. Malik, hey man, are you in Boston now? Nice to see you in here. Um, Let me see. Oh, Chelsea Cook. Hey, Chelsea. Just saw you the other day. Um, okay. I think that's all the questions. I got a bunch of questions. I really have to go. Um, I will be back next week every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, 2-5 Tuesday. Mr. Spetra, I have a gig on Friday and having molar pain. Oh, going to the dentist. Yeah, get to the dentist, for sure. Um, yeah, that was just a question from Shay on YouTube. So that wasn't, I normally wouldn't talk about dental stuff. Anyways, always great to see you all. Yes, 3 months at Berkeley. Nice. Awesome, Malik. I will play next week. I promise. I really have to go, and I have to wake up super early for a workout tomorrow. Favorite tenor player as for 2 5s. Oh my gosh. Look at behind me. Look at my walls. Sonny Rollins, Dexter Gordon. th- You know, it's just all the language. Seamus, John Ellis. John Ellis's birthday's tomorrow. Make sure you all wish John Ellis a happy birthday tomorrow. John Ellis Music on Instagram here. Um, tell him happy birthday from me. Say, hey, Chris G sent me over, and we need to wish him a happy birthday. So yeah, April 13th, John Ellis is one of my favorite tenor players of all time. New York player. If you ever get a chance to watch him, I just missed him in San Diego. I was so bummed. I don't know why I'm telling you guys all this. Like you guys care. Anyways, yeah, I will see you all next week. Tracy, thank you. YouTube, IG, Instagram, thank you all for checking out. Logan, I'll see you at the end of the month, pal. Everybody be well. Just remember, always positive, always progressing. Later.